So I really felt uncomfortable making this video and I really debated on not doing it. The reason for that is because I've done this video twice technically. And the main reason I'm even debating on recording it in the first place is because I feel like I have seen a resurgence in people thinking that Sora is the master of masters. And it couldn't be more untrue with our current knowledge. And I feel like I've made that blatantly obvious in both of those videos. And those of you guys that come out to the live streams, which I am live streaming right now, and you guys in the chat, I see y'all, I appreciate y'all. You guys have probably heard it from me tons of times why the Sora's, not the master of masters. And everybody that comes in that says, hey, do you think Sora's the master of masters? You guys got to hear the whole spiel because you know how I don't know how to stop talking. I much love to you guys, but I feel like I need to make a definitive video expressing why it's not the case. I've already done a video when people tell me their reasonings why, and literally going comment by comment and just, saying, no, it can't be because of that. It can't be because of that. It can't be because of that. I've already done that. So it's like at this point, I'm just going to give a clear-cut reasoning as to why it's not possible. And because of that, especially since I've already talked about it so many times, I'm not too sure how long this video is going to be. So if it ends up being like 3-4 minutes, I apologize. But at this point, I've talked about this already. We're not new to this topic. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So if we think back, if you go back and remember Dream Drop Distance and Birth by Sleep, these games kind of set the standard for how time travel works in the Kingdom Hearts series. And they definitively say that in order to time travel, you need to leave your body behind to do it. And there needs to be a version of yourself waiting at the destination, meaning you can't actually time travel outside of your own lifespan, because obviously you don't exist after you've already died, and you don't actually exist before you've actually, been born. So you can only time travel within this span of you living. And Xehanort has manipulated this rule to his own gain throughout the Kingdom Hearts series, even before we even realized it was happening, and him as the Brown Robe Man in Kingdom Hearts 1, and so much more. Now, things do get a little technical because of Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3, they entered the aspect of using replicas to dump hearts into. So when a heart travels from a different time, they can literally just be dumped into a replica and be here in that time. Yes, that is possible. They have blatantly made that obvious. But there's one omission about that really proves that Sora cannot be the master of masters. You have to remember that Vexen was the one who created the replica. You remember them talking about the replica program back in Reach into Memories and Days and Kingdom Hearts 2, etc. So we know the original replica was Riku replica, and we know Number I, who was Shion, was also another replica. And of course, all of them in Kingdom Hearts 3 are all replicas too, because most of them have already died, so they needed to come back to this time by using a replica. But because the fact that Vexen was the one who created the replica program, meaning any time before, say, Reach into Memories and Days, the replicas were non-existent. We have not seen anywhere in the series that replicas actually exist. So, as far as we know, with our current knowledge, it is impossible to time travel using a replica in this series. Another point, in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, the Master of Masters specifically starts going into his past when he was talking to Lucio. He talked about how there was a Keyblade War going on when he was a lad, and all the people that fought in it and all of this stuff as well. And that when he, got of age, he didn't end up having a master or anything, but he's the only one from back then that really matters. And at the end of the day, this still completely contradicts Sora's past. We've already seen Sora basically grow up, him being 4 years old in Birth by Sleep, all the way to his current age in Remind and Melody of Memory. There has been no real time where Sora has left his body behind to specifically go and time travel back to the age of fairy tales. You can try to say that when Sora ended up defying fate in Kingdom Hearts 3, that is when he did it, but we saw Sora the whole time when that happened. We saw where he went. He died and went to the final world, and he went back to each aspect to save each of his friends and get back to right as when he was getting to the Keyblade graveyard. We saw that entire experience, and we saw his behind the scenes endeavor in Remind. So we have never seen him go back to the Age of Fairy Tales, and with our current knowledge, there is no evidence pointing to him doing so in the first place. And then we come to basically my strongest point. Because there is no replica, because we've never seen Sora, actually go back in time to the Age of Fairy Tales. Let's say that he did do this. How would that actually be possible? You need to leave your body behind to do so, and there has to be a version of yourself waiting at the destination. And because there is no version of Sora waiting at the destination, how could he actually be there in the Age of Fairy Tales to masquerade as this Master of Masters? That's not possible. Some may try to say that, oh, well, Ventus is here. That's a version of Sora. No, it's not. This is Ventus years before he had anything to do with a Sora. So this Ventus is a completely separate and his own being. So even if you say they have something and ties together in the future, that doesn't affect this Ventus in the past. So even if you try to work Ventus into it and him looking like Sora, Ventus wasn't specifically created yet. We've seen Ventus being created by old man Xehanort in a cutscene in Birth by Sleep, which technically took place before the events of Birth by Sleep, shortly after, because we know Ventus wasn't really right after that extraction, and he ended up being passed on to Ericus to be his disciple instead of Xehanort's. So until someone can actually prove that, say, Sora is able to disregard the laws of time travel and actually go back all the way then and not needing a version of himself waiting at the destination, he can go and just live an entire other life as a young boy to a young man, a strapping young man, and, raise up all these pupils and write a book of prophecies and all this stuff. Until someone can actually prove that, it is literally impossible because of everything we know about this series. This can easily be changed just by a simple sentence in the future. This can easily be changed, but with our current knowledge, it is impossible for that to be the case. But as of this current moment, I believe that's everything I needed to say on the topic. I've said this line so many times on stream before, so I apologize to those of you guys watching right now and having to hear me talk about this, a third time, especially since this isn't even my first recording of this. So much love to all you real ones watching this right now live, and all of you guys who decided to watch all the way to the end. Even if you don't believe me after watching this video, I still appreciate you taking the time out of your day to go and actually hear what I have to say. And if you still have reasonings as to why the Master of Masters could be Sora, definitely let me know in the comments below. I know some people are probably going to say alternate timeline and parallel world, all this stuff, but because there's no actual evidence that support that, we didn't see, some brown hair underneath his mask or his hood or anything like that. We didn't see him have a similar voice or refer to a similar past as Sora, nothing. We don't have any of that. I'm probably just going to disregard stuff like that. But if you have something you feel is legitimate, definitely let me know. I am 100% open to letting my mind be changed. But those of you guys that did enjoy this, definitely hit the like button for me. It'll let me know that you guys like watching and recording the videos live. And if you guys would enjoy this actual video, even though you just watched it in post, I would very much appreciate that as well. And share this video with your friend. This is a video that really needs to be shared with within the community, because this is something that I feel that has some of the most vital information going forward in Kingdom Hearts. So if you can do so with sharing it with a friend that watches Kingdom Hearts videos, who is getting into Kingdom Hearts, and they're trying to understand the whole thing, and they're just trying to connect stuff at this point. Share it with other YouTubers. Things like that would all really mean a lot to me. But thank you guys so much for watching. My name is KingdomAce, and remember my words of courage to stay strong, stay beautiful, and always look skyward.